Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, your weekend edition of what's trending in tech and gadgets.
And this week, wow, it feels like everything revolves around AI, doesn't it?
It really does. We've got some seriously impressive new hardware pushing AI right onto devices.
Yeah, but then you flip the coin and you see these huge regulatory headaches popping up, companies moving maybe a bit too fast.
Definitely a theme there. Breathtaking speed meets, well, the brick wall of real-world rules.
Exactly. So our job today is to cut through that noise.
Yep. We've got the top 5 stories you absolutely need to know about this week, the key takeaways.
Let's kick things off with the silicon. Story number 1. The new chip wars heating up.
Okay, yeah, this is big. We're talking Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, and Qualcomm is making some pretty bold claims here.
Bold is putting it mildly. They're basically saying this chip is engineered to smoke Apple's next-gen A19 Pro when it comes to AI performance.
Which feels like more than just benchmark chasing. This sounds like a fundamental shift in how they're building these chips, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about making the CPU or GPU faster anymore. It's about what's called heterogeneous computing.
Okay.
Think of it like this. Qualcomm isn't just building one super fast brain. They're building like a whole specialized AI team right onto the chip.
An AI team.
Yeah, within what they call the Qualcomm AI engine. And the star player on that team is the Hexagon NPU.
The neural processing unit. Okay, break that down for us non-engineers. Why is the NPU suddenly so important?
Well, it's because it's purpose-built for one thing, running really demanding AI tasks, what we call inference, without completely draining your battery or melting the phone.
Ah, okay.
So if a developer wants to run a big language model like Llama 2 directly on the phone, without sending your data off to the cloud.
Which is a big deal for privacy.
Huge. That task has to run on the NPU. It's optimized for those specific calculations. Try running that on the main CPU or GPU for long. Forget it. Your phone would get hot fast and the battery would just vanish.
Got it. So the NPU tackles the really heavy AI lifting. But phones do other AI things constantly, right? Like listening for, hey, Google, or noise cancellation.
Exactly. And that's where the heterogeneous part is so smart. You don't use the powerhouse NPU for those small, always-on tasks.
Makes sense.
Things like speech recognition, maybe running a model like Whisper continuously, that gets handed off to the Qualcomm Sensing Hub, which is super, super efficient, designed precisely for those low-power, persistent AI jobs.
So it's like having different tools for different jobs all on one chip.
Precisely. And the bigger picture here, the strategic implication, Qualcomm is basically telling developers, hey, the future of generative AI isn't just cloud APIs controlled by Google or Apple. You can run powerful stuff right here on our silicon.
That is fascinating. It's shifting power back to the device, back to the hardware maker. It's not just about raw speed, it's about smart allocation of tasks.
You got it. Orchestration is the name of the game.
Okay, let's keep that idea in mind. Local power, smart allocation, and jump over the fence to Apple with story 2. The M5 MacBook Pro performance numbers.
Right. So Apple just dropped the new 14-inch MacBook Pro with the M5 chip.
And crucially, for listeners, the starting price hasn't changed from the last generation.
Which is always nice to see. But what's really interesting is how Apple is also leaning into local AI, just, with the extra space and cooling a laptop offers compared to a phone.
Right. They have more thermal headroom to play with.
Exactly. So while Qualcomm's figuring out the phone in your pocket problem, Apple's building this local AI beast aimed squarely at, well, 2 main groups. Creative pros.
Yep, usual suspects.
And increasingly high-end gamers.
Okay, so what are the actual performance claims? What kind of boost are we talking about?
They're citing some pretty hefty numbers, something like 45% higher graphics throughput.
45%? Wow.
And 30% faster performance in games compared to the previous M-series chip. But again, like with Snapdragon, the big story underneath is AI. The M5 allows for much larger, more complex AI models to run directly on the laptop. Think about summarizing massive documents instantly or doing really fast, high-res image generation with models like Stable Diffusion right there on the machine.
Okay, that's cool. But why should someone, say a video editor or graphic designer, care if the AI processing happens locally versus in the cloud? What's the real benefit?
It really boils down to 2 things, I think. Privacy and potentially cost.
Right.
When you're sending huge project files or sensitive data to the cloud for processing or rendering, you're paying for that server time, right? And you also kind of lose direct control over the data.
True.
This new hardware, the M5, it pushes back against that. It lets you keep massive workloads on your own device. So if you're listening and you're a creative pro, this could mean maybe delaying that expensive cloud rendering subscription. And you keep your proprietary work entirely local.
So the theme continues,
Yeah.
making the device itself smarter, more capable. But that local intelligence is only useful if the device is actually supported and, crucially, secure. Which brings us perfectly to story 3, Windows 10, end of life. The big deadline is looming.
October 14th, 2025. Yeah, everyone should probably circle that date or tattoo it somewhere.
Probably not necessary. But Microsoft is ending free support then. No more free security patches for, millions and millions of PCs still running Windows 10.
That's the key. If you want to keep getting those critical security updates after that date, you need to sign up for their ESU program.
Extended security updates.
Yeah.
Okay, what does that actually mean for the average home user who maybe hasn't upgraded yet?
Well, the good news is your PC won't just, explode on October 15th. It'll keep working.
Okay, good.
The bad news, it instantly becomes a massive security target. Hackers know exactly when support ends, and they will absolutely hammer Windows 10 systems looking for new flaws because Microsoft won't be patching them for free anymore.
Yikes. So users basically have to decide pay, up, or upgrade.
Pretty much. And let's talk about the cost, because that's where it gets interesting.
Okay, how much are we talking for this ESU?
For consumers, if you don't qualify for any special deals, extending support for 1 year will cost you $30. Or, well, $29.99 in the Microsoft store.
$30. Okay.
Yeah.
Not terrible for a year of security.
But, and this is the crucial part, the price doubles every single year after that.
Doubles. Seriously.
Yep. So $30 for year 1, $60 for year 2, and then $120 for year 3. It's clearly designed to push people towards Windows 11.
Wow, that's some serious economic pressure. Are there any ways around that fee? Any free options?
There are a few possibilities, but they have strings attached. If you're in the EU, you might just need a Microsoft account to get the ESU extension for free.
Okay.
In the US, the report suggests you could potentially use 1,000 Microsoft Rewards points, or maybe get it free if you use a Microsoft account and you agree to sync your Windows settings to OneDrive.
The OneDrive sync.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Right. But if you don't do one of those specific things, yeah, you're looking at paying that $30 for the first year of patches.
And if someone decides, nah, I'll just risk it, what's the actual danger of running an unpatched Windows 10 machine on your home network? It's just one computer, right?
Oh, that's a dangerous way to think. The risk is huge, especially because everything is connected now. The term security folks use is lateral movement.
Lateral movement.
Yeah. Once a hacker gets a foothold on that one vulnerable Windows 10 PC, they can use it as a launching pad to attack other devices on your home network. Your smart speaker, your security cameras, maybe even files on other computers.
Oof, okay, that's bad.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Honestly, the best advice is either upgrade to Windows 11 before the deadline, or be prepared to pay for that ESU subscription. Running an unsupported OS like that is just asking for trouble. The potential for widespread problems is enormous.
Okay, solid advice. Definitely something for listeners to think about. Now let's shift gears dramatically. From individual PC security to massive corporate compliance issues. Story 4. The regulatory headaches piling up for Elon Musk's companies.
Yeah, it feels like a recurring theme, doesn't it? This idea of moving incredibly fast, maybe cutting some corners on process, and then facing these huge, expensive cleanups later.
Totally. And this week, the spotlight is really intense on both the Boring Company, TBC, and Tesla.
The scale is pretty wild. Let's start underground with TBC. Nevada regulators just formally accused them of nearly 800 violations related to the Vegas Loop project.
800 in just one state. What kind of violations are we talking about?
All sorts. Things like digging tunnels without getting the final okay first.
Oops.
Yeah. And then serious environmental stuff, like allegedly dumping untreated construction water onto city streets, muck spills. It's quite a list.
And is it just Nevada?
Nope. Down in Texas, TBC is reportedly facing over 800 more infractions and potentially $2.2 million in fines, mostly related to wastewater discharge and air quality issues near Austin.
Okay, but playing devil's advocate for a second, isn't this just the cost of disrupting entrenched industries? Startups move fast, regulators move slow. Should they have just budgeted for these fines?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Or maybe the multi-million-dollar question here. Is compliance seen as fundamental or just, red tape to be dealt with later? When you see the sheer volume of violations across multiple states, it does suggest maybe speed was prioritized over, well, rules. And then moving above ground, you have Tesla and its full self-driving tech, FSD, back in the hot seat again.
Right. Federal regulators and HTSA opened another investigation. What set this one off?
This time it was triggered by 58 specific incident reports. These are cases where owners reported their cars while in FSD mode did things like run red lights or even drive on the wrong side of the road.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Driving on the wrong side.
Yeah. And sometimes these incidents apparently led to crashes and injuries. It really highlights the ongoing issues with the system's reliability.
And this slams right back into that really tricky legal problem we keep talking about. Who's liable when these partially autonomous systems mess up?
It's the legal gray area nightmare. Just to be super clear for everyone listening, FSD is a level 2 system. That means it's advanced driver assistance. It needs the human driver to be paying attention, hands ready, eyes on the road, always.
Right, the driver is still technically responsible.
That's what the automakers argue, absolutely. They use that level 2 designation almost like a legal shield. If something goes wrong, they often point to driver error because the human was supposed to be supervising.
But that feels like a mismatch with how people actually use the technology, doesn't it?
Exactly, that's the core tension. The system is designed to handle the routine, boring parts of driving, highway cruising, staying in lane, but doing that successfully makes the driver, naturally tune out a bit. It induces complacency.
You can't really expect someone to stare intently at the road for hours while the car does most of the work.
Precisely. So now you have courts, judges, juries trying to figure out who pays when this collaborative system fails. Is it the driver who got complacent or the system that was designed in a way that makes complacency almost inevitable? Level 2 is proving incredibly difficult from a legal and regulatory standpoint.
Yeah, a real mess. Okay, let's wrap things up with our final story, Story 5, which brings us back to the cutting edge of consumer tech, but maybe with a slightly quirky angle.
Definitely quirky. We're talking about Honor and their vision for the smartphone's future.
Right, so they just launched their new flagship phones in China, the Magic 8 series.
Yep, the Magic 8 and Magic 8 Pro. Both packing that new Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 chip we talked about earlier. They even have a dedicated physical AI button.
An AI button. Interesting.
And the Pro model has some truly bonkers specs, like a 200-megapixel telephoto camera.
200 megapixels.
I know, right? And a absolutely massive 7 to 200 milliamp battery.
Okay, that battery life must be insane. But the real headline grabber wasn't those phones, was it? It was their concept device, the robot phone.
Yes. The robot phone. And this really shows where Honor thinks things are headed. They're pitching this concept, which they expect to show off properly around MWC 2026, as way more than just a phone.
What are they calling it?
Get this. An emotional companion that senses, adapts, and evolves autonomously like a robot.
An emotional companion. Okay, now it sounds like science fiction. Like something from a movie.
It definitely leans that way. A phone that anticipates your needs, maybe even your feelings. But there's a key physical feature that ties into this robot idea.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
It has this unique camera gimbal system. It actually slots into the back of the phone under a panel, and it's motorized. It can physically rotate the camera all the way from the back around to the front.
A rotating camera gimbal on the phone.
Yep. They claim this enables AI-powered multimodal intelligence and gives it actual robotic capabilities to interact with the world. It's not just a party trick. Honor seems to be betting that the next frontier for smartphones isn't just internal specs, but actual physical dexterity, driven by AI.
Wow. Okay, that actually loops back perfectly to where we started. From the specialized AI chips inside.
Right, the NPUs and heterogeneous computing.
To the real-world challenges of getting autonomous tech like FSD to work safely and legally.
The regulatory hurdles, the liability questions.
And ending with a vision where the phone itself becomes a kind of physical, AI-driven robot companion. It's quite a journey.
It really is. You see this huge push towards deeply personal on-device AI, the powerful chips, these specialized processors, even physically adaptive phones, all aimed at making our lives easier, maybe more private, more intuitive. But yeah, at the exact same time, these ongoing struggles with Tesla's FSD and the boring company's environmental compliance, are stark reminders. Human oversight, real-world safety, legal frameworks, environmental rules, these are still the major bottlenecks. They're the things that slow down even the most transformative-seeming tech.
So it leaves us with a big question.
I think so. How should we, as the people using this tech, weigh the incredible convenience and potential privacy benefits of powerful local AI against the absolute necessity of safety guardrails, environmental protection, and clear rules that maybe slow down that pace of innovation? It's a tough balance.
Definitely something to think about. A great place to leave it for this week. That's it for this week. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.